Red Riding Hood was playing in her garden after her terrible ordeal with that nasty wolf. "Red Riding Hood," called her mum, "I've made cookies. Come and get one. Why not take some to Dad?" Now Red Riding Hood still felt a bit nervous about going into the wood, but Mum needed her help, and Dad loved his cookies, so she agreed to go. Her mum counted 10 freshly made cookies into a basket. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Red Riding Hood gave her mum a big hug. Off she went. She hadn't gone far when she heard a small voice. "Red Riding Hood! Red Riding Hood! Have you any food? I've been stuck up in this tower for ages and I'm starving." "Send down your basket," said Red Riding Hood. "I have a delicious freshly made cookie for you." "Yummy! My favourite," replied Rapunzel. "It's good to see you out again, so soon after your terrible ordeal with that nasty wolf." Red Riding Hood set off again to deliver the freshly made cookies to her dad. She looked into her basket. 10 had become 9. After a while she arrived at Mr. and Mrs. Bear's house. They were sitting around their garden table with Baby Bear, staring into 3 very empty bowls. "Red Riding Hood, have you any food? We're starving. Someone's eaten all our porridge." Now Red Riding Hood was a kind little girl, and she popped 1 freshly made cookie into each of their bowls. "Oh, thank you," said the bears. "It's good to see you out again, so soon after your terrible ordeal with that nasty wolf." Red Riding Hood marched on. She looked into her basket. 9 had become 6. She hadn't gone far when she reached Grandma's house. "I must see how Grandma is after her terrible ordeal with that nasty wolf," thought Red Riding Hood. Grandma was in bed. Grandma, you look starving," said Red Riding Hood. "You must have one of Mum's homemade cookies. I'm taking some to Dad, but he won't mind you having one." "Thank you, dear," said Grandma. "You are a thoughtful girl. Now run along and don't keep your father waiting." Red Riding Hood gave Grandma a kiss on the cheek and rushed off to find her dad. She looked into her basket. 6 had become 5. After a while she reached the river. 3 very scrawny billy goats were lying on a patch of rather brown grass. "Red Riding Hood, have you any food? We're starving." "We can't cross the bridge to eat the lush green grass," they said. "There's a mean and hungry troll waiting to eat us." "You poor things. Try some homemade cookies. They're delicious. 1, 2, 3. "You're very kind," said the billy goats. "Nice to see you out again, so soon after your terrible ordeal with that nasty wolf." Red Riding Hood ran on. She looked into her basket. 5 had become 2. "Well, at least there aren't any nasty wolves around here," thought Red Riding Hood. Just then, a wolf jumped out in front of her. "Well, well, well," said the wolf. "If it isn't Red Riding Hood, out again so soon after your terrible ordeal with my brother. Seeing you makes me feel rather peckish." "You can't have any of my cookies," squeaked Red Riding Hood. "I wasn't thinking about cookies," growled the wolf as he leapt towards her. Hearing a scream, her dad appeared wielding his axe. "Run, Red Riding Hood, run!" he bellowed as he chased the wolf away. "Not again, Red Riding Hood," thought Dad. They were both hungry after their terrible ordeal. She reached into her basket. "1 for you and 1 for me." said Red Riding Hood. And then there were none.